This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Wondering what we were going to do to them. And oh my God, the scars on their faces and burns. Oh God, it was sickening. Women and children. It was just sickening. World War II would become the gatepost on which the rest of the 20th century would swing. Just what did our fathers see? The story of World War II has been told many times, but only recently have we allowed those who actually lived it to speak for themselves. The narratives in this book are reflective of many of the places in the United States 75 years ago, but most have never been heard before. They are drawn from those who returned to the communities surrounding the falls in the Hudson River, some 200 miles north of where the river joins the sea at New York City. Over a span of 6 months in 1943 and 1944, Look magazine dispatched a team of photographers to Glens Falls, New York, and its environs, for a patriotic 6-article series on life in what was then dubbed Hometown USA to a national audience. Aesthetically and demographically, it seemed an apt decision. The counties on either side of the waterfalls on the Hudson River, Washington and Warren, give rise to the Adirondack Mountains and the pristine waters of Lake George to the north. To the east lay Lake Champlain and the Green Mountains of Vermont. Just to the south, Saratoga with its historic racetrack, a summertime destination for over 100 years. Beyond Saratoga lay the industrial city of Troy and the state capital of Albany, less than an hour away by rail or automobile. In the early days, these counties played pivotal roles in the formation of the United States, given their geographic, strategic importance on the Great Warpath, the almost unbroken stretch of water linking New York City with Canada. It was around the vicinity of the falls that watercraft had to be taken out and portaged. 2 major fortifications were constructed here by the British during the French and Indian War, and this was the setting for James Fenimore Cooper's classic, The Last of the Mohicans. Half a generation later, a British army sweeping through here would be repulsed by county sons at the Battle of Saratoga. Following the American Revolution, the early settlers engaged in agricultural pursuits, such as dairy farming, and later sheep raising. Mill-based operations on the river were centered around the upper falls at Glens Falls and the lower falls just downstream at Hudson Falls, and evolved into significant lumber and paper-making operations. With the opening of the Erie and Champlain canals, 2 generations after the Revolution, new worlds opened up. But the North Country counties remained relatively small in population. Living here required hard work in all 4 seasons, but it was a quiet, close-knit place to raise a family, like many rural areas across America. Then the war came. Like almost every other community in America, from the outside this region seemed untouched by the war. As documented by Look, life went on to its rhythmic beat. Children went off to school, the mills hummed, department stores filled their storefront windows, and farmers sowed and reaped according to the seasons. The beat quickened as young men and women stirred to volunteer. Notices arrived in the post box, and many left town for the first time in their lives. Life went on, but was now accentuated by rationing, victory gardens, blackouts, and paper and scrap drives. Soon, the arrival of telegrams announcing sons missing or captured, teary phone calls from military hospitals, or worse, the static rings of the front porch doorbell would drive this war home into the heart of hometown USA with the fury of hammer blows. Things would never be the same again. Like the hard times of the Great Depression in the decade preceding, this war affected every family. Few American communities would remain unscathed by the emotional detritus of World War II. There was a family that lost 2 sons in World War II. The family got a telegram on a Monday that one of the boys was killed, and that Thursday they got another telegram saying that his brother had been killed. There were about 35 young men from Granville who were killed in World War II, and I knew every one of them. Thus the war came and went. Of the 16 million Americans who donned uniforms,